G'day guys, welcome to our second What's for Dinner episode. This week we're going to be sharing 7 meals from our week. So first off, we've got satay beef stir fry. So Dave's going to start off by making the satay sauce and putting it into a food processor. So putting in 1 small onion, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of grated lemon rind, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. He's then chopping up some fresh coriander. It's probably roughly about 2 tablespoons worth. Then 1 tablespoon of peanut oil and 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. While he's got the chopping board out, he's going to chop up 4 spring onions, but this is not going in the food processor. And then he's going to mix that paste completely together. Then on the stove, he's got half a cup of crunchy peanut butter and a can of coconut milk, and he's just heating that until it's completely smooth. Then he removed that from the heat, and using the wok he's going to put a dash of peanut oil, and he's sliced up 500 grams of beef steak, and in batches he's going to do the beef steak and the paste. Once all the beef's been cooked, he's going to add it all back in together. Then he's going to add in that peanut coconut milk mixture. Then adding in a small can of water chestnuts, a small can of champignon mushrooms, and then those spring onions. Once it's all hot and stirred in together, then it's ready to be served. To serve, Dave just likes to add some coriander on the top. The next night we're having whole grain English muffins with bacon, egg, avocado, as well as some coriander. Delicious. Whoops, I nearly forgot the cheese. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. The next night, Dave made Thai fried noodles with pork and peanuts. He's using the green curry paste because that's what we've got in the pantry, but you could use red also, and 1 teaspoon. He's then removing all the fat from the pork fillet, about 400 grams worth, and slicing it up and adding it to the paste. Then in a separate container, he's putting 500 grams of hoki noodles. I hope I've said that right. Then he's making up 125 mils of chicken stock and 2 teaspoons of corn flour, and mixing that all together. In the wok, he's putting a tablespoon of peanut oil, and then he's going to cook up the pork. Once the pork's cooked, he's going to remove that from the wok and add in the noodles. He's already separated the noodles with a fork, and then he's adding in that sauce of the corn flour, as well as 2 teaspoons of fish sauce, mixing that all together. Then adding in 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and then he's going to add back in the pork, mix it all together. Then he's adding in 1/3 of a cup of crushed peanuts. You could use whole peanuts, but this is for our toddler as well. So we're going to use crushed peanuts and then the coriander that was chopped up before. Then to garnish, Dave's added a bit of coriander on the top. Once that is all hot, it's ready to serve. This probably was a little bit salty, but everyone ate all their noodles. We are trying to have at least 1 vegetarian meal a week. So this week it's tortellini with eggplant sauce. So first off, Dave's going to chop up 1 red capsicum into small cubes. At the same time, he's cooking the tortellini in boiling water. We're using tomato and mozzarella. It was delicious. It was really nice flavours. Then what Dave's doing is chopping up the eggplant into small cubes. This is what takes a bit of the time. And then he's going to be using some fresh basil, half a cup of fresh basil, and he's chopping that up into small pieces also. In a large saucepan, he's putting 2 teaspoons of crushed garlic. You could use fresh cloves, but we didn't have that, so we just keep this in the fridge. Then he's adding in the capsicum, mixing that all together. And he's cooking that for 1 minute before adding in the eggplant on low heat. He's cooking that for 5 minutes before adding in the crushed tomatoes and vegetable stock, which is 1 cup of vegetable stock, and then he's bringing it to a boil. He then reduced the heat for about 10 minutes and let it cook before adding in the basil and drained pasta, and then he mixed it all together and it was good to eat. This was delicious and a very satisfying meal. The next night we had the same with a cob of corn each. Tonight we're having some fish fillets with vegetables, so garden peas, carrot, sweet potato and corn. And of course, for sauce, I'm going to have some tartar sauce. And this is the best brand that I've found. Do you make your own tartar sauce? I haven't tried it, but maybe that's something I could do in the future. This is our last meal. Tell me your favourite in the comments and I'll let you know at the end what ours were. So the last one is beef sausage rolls. So what we're going to need for this is 500 grams of beef meat. Putting that into a bowl. Dave has preheated the oven to 220 degrees Celsius and he's lined 2 baking trays with baking paper. So combining the mince, a chopped up onion, some grated carrot, a can of beans, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of parsley leaves, half a teaspoon of ground black pepper, half a teaspoon of mixed herbs into a large bowl, and then he's going to place that in the pastry and roll it up. So we like to have ours really big sausage rolls, so using 3 sheets of puff pastry which he separates and then puts on the bench to thaw a little bit. Into the mixture he's also adding 1 egg and a can of beans before he gets his hand in there and mixes it all together as best as he can. And then grabbing part of that mixture, he puts that out onto the puff pastry in the center, and as you can see we like to have a lot. We like to have really big sausage rolls. And then starting at one end, he's going to roll it all up, put the seam underneath before cutting it into 4 pieces, putting that onto a tray, just brushing some full cream milk on the top and sprinkling with sesame seeds.
What's it like to be the one that he turns to when he's out of answers? What's it like to be the one that he comes to when he wants to dance? And I wonder what's that like? I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name, and I'm running out of time. I wish you felt the same, and I'm acting stupid like every day. Don't know what to.
Then once it's nice and brown on the top, he removes that from the oven and it's good to eat. We cook the sausage rolls for about 20 to 25 minutes until golden brown on the top. Dave's favourite meal was the tortellini with eggplant. My favourite meal would have been the beef stir fry, the first one, and our toddler's was the sausage rolls. Thanks for watching. Bye!